This is Grams Morgan. I want you to keep watching CVMTV, be inspired, be informed, right? See it happen right here on CVMTV. Morgan Heritage till the year 3000 and beyond. Grams Morgan say that. See it? Blessings.
Need to estimate your duty? Perform a track and trace? Search for a declaration?
Then download the Jamaica Customs mobile app today. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is joining us for CVM News at noon. It's Tuesday, January 13, 2026. I'm Amoy Harriet. Up first, the Jamaica Constabulary Force has apprehended one of the country's most wanted men, 43-year-old Courtney Ashley, otherwise called Bloodstain, the reputed leader of the Bottom Marley gang. Ashley was captured during an operation in Phoenix Park Village, Portmore, St. Catherine on Monday. Now, two other individuals, a man and a woman, were also taken into custody during the operation. Reports from the police say about 7:10 Monday evening, members of the St. Catherine South Special Operations Team went to a premises in Phoenix Park Village where the three individuals were seen. The two men attempted to flee but were quickly intercepted and detained along with the woman. A search of the premises reportedly led to the seizure of several cell phones, laptops, a card reader, as well as sums of Jamaican and United States currency. Now, Courtney Ashley was wanted in connection with the 2017 murder of Andrew Foster and a shooting incident on Fenbrook Avenue in St. Andrew. Meanwhile, detectives attached to the Lucy police station in Hanover are searching for a man known only as Bududup following a vicious machete attack in Drew Hill district. Police say the incident happened about 10:30 p.m. last Wednesday when the suspect allegedly armed himself with a machete and went to the home of another man, kicking in the front door. The intended victim managed to escape and reported the matter to the police. Now, investigators say the suspect later tracked down the man at a friend's home in the community, where he allegedly chopped him repeatedly with the machete and left him for dead. The injured man was rushed to hospital where he was treated and admitted in serious condition. The suspect is being urged to turn himself in to the police. Now, anyone with information that can assist the police in locating the man is being asked to contact the Lucy Police, the emergency number 119, Crime Stop at 311, or the nearest police station. Still out west, the Independent Commission of Investigations is assuring the public that the fatal police shooting in Granville St. James on New Year's Day is being thoroughly and impartially probed. The commitment was made during a meeting with West Central St. James Member of Parliament Marlene Malahoo Fort as concerns continue to mount among residents and relatives of the deceased.
By law, Indecom is mandated to investigate the conduct of the security forces that result in injury or death or abuse. We wish to assure the families that Indecom zealously guard our mandate, which is to be independent, which is to be objective, and which is to be impartial.
Now, still in St. James, head of the division, SSP Aaron Samuels, says following on from the current success of the zones of special operations, the next aim is to make the parish the safest in the Caribbean. This while eyeing a new mark of ending the year with murders below 50. Javoni Hamilton has this CVM News follow-up.
Days after Deputy Superintendent Keeble Sims lauded local authorities and community stakeholders for significant reductions in major crimes in parts of St. James, the head of police in the parish is reaffirming the force's commitment to public safety. Commanding officer for the St. James Police Division, Senior Superintendent Aaron Samuels, says his team is determined to transform St. James into the safest parish in the Caribbean.
The team that I have on the ground a little bit more with communities will be rolling out some more programs, and technology will be used a lot more in how we operate going forward. The township, hopefully, based on what we will put in place, will be a whole lot safer. And we just want persons to work with the police to ensure that we achieve the target. It's not just our target, it's the parish's target to ensure that we meet the requirements of being the safest city in the Caribbean.
At the end of 2025, St. James recorded significant declines in violent crime, with both homicides and shootings falling sharply compared to 2024. While robberies remain a concern, SSP Samuels notes that there has been some improvement, especially during the festive season.
Whilst we had some issues with robberies, which is a major concern within the township, that situation, we honestly believe that we have gotten some major headways in that, with persons arrested and before the courts, and also persons who are involved in incidents right across the country are not just in custody in St. James, but in other divisions. And we saw through the Christmas period where we had a period with very low robberies in the Christmas period, which is a first for the St. James division.
According to SSP Samuels, the 2026 benchmark is to keep murders below 50. Reporting for CVM News, I'm Giovanni Hamilton.
A year of integrity and accountability. That's the pledge from newly appointed Principal Director of the National Integrity Action, Dr. Gavin Myers. Now, speaking on CVM's lead story on Monday, Dr. Myers, who previously served in a senior leadership role at the NIA, said he's awaiting a full engagement with the organization to chart a way forward for the watchdog body. In the meantime, however, Dr. Myers insists he's committed to safeguarding integrity, noting that the NIA must actively represent every Jamaican without fear or favor under his leadership. He further stressed that restoring public confidence will require a strong collaborative approach, warning that integrity cannot be upheld in isolation.
We are aiming at NIA, and we have always aimed not to be performative. We're aiming that accountability is a practice. That is a practice that is both active and it's also built in passively in the systems. It's not good enough to come and say at the end that someone failed. It is important enough that we say the systems are there, that they're working, and along with being working, that we feel like we matter, that our voice matter, and that as a society, that our role in this is not every 5 years, every 2 years, or when someone calls on us. It's that we are there as a part of the relationship. So we're going to continue those things in terms of ensuring that we speak out, ensuring that we build accountability, ensure that we speak this into being, we build relationships, that the critical structures and sectors have a voice, that people, the man in the street, the man from country, man from town, the woman from all over, have a voice, and that they feel that we are engaged and speaking with them.
Our Minister of Education and Youth, Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, is expressing profound sorrow following the deadly motor vehicle collision along the Crawford to Fonthill Main Road near the St. Elizabeth-Westmoreland border. 3 children and 1 adult were killed in Saturday's 2-vehicle crash. They have been identified as Janine Dawkins, Antoasia Legister, Janessa Dunkley, and Janelia Dunkley. Dr. Dixon says the ministry has activated its critical incident response protocols with guidance counselors deployed to provide psychological support to affected students, teachers, and school communities. Despite the challenges brought on by Hurricane Melissa, the government remains confident about prospects for economic growth. State Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, Senator Apka Fitzhenley, insists it's not all doom and gloom.
The Jamaican dollar is stable. It's not all doom and gloom. The NIR is at significant levels, over 6 billion United States dollars. And the Jamaican economy expanded by 5.1% during the July to September quarter, Statin indicated. That's just before Melissa struck Jamaica. So we are optimistic. We are bullish about the future of Jamaica in 2026 and going forward.
Senator Fitzhenley says the aim is to assist Jamaicans who were severely affected by Melissa.
The administration has indicated that funds garnered via the official GOJ portal will be used to assist Jamaicans who suffered significant damage to their housing stock, in particular where ceilings were badly damaged. And work over the Christmas phase into the new year intensified towards delivering this assistance to people who are in need.
And it's time now for a break, but stay with us. Our live interview comes up next. Welcome back to CVM News at noon. Now, there were 374 deaths on our roads in 2025. And according to the Island Traffic Authority, motorcyclists, pedestrians, and pedocyclists and pillion passengers are among the most vulnerable road users. Now, Dr. Lucian Jones, who's the vice chairman of the National Road Safety Council, says the road users at greatest risk are motorcyclists, with over 100 dying last year. Joining us now to discuss this issue is clinical coordinator at the Western Regional Health Authority, Dr. Delroy Frey. Good afternoon, Dr. Frey.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for being here. So, Doctor, we've heard in the past that our hospitals in Western Jamaica have been overwhelmed by the number of victims from our road crashes that we're seeing here on our roads. Is this still a big problem?
Oh, it's a daily problem, and I don't know when this probably will ever cease. But it's always good to look at data. Let me give you some data, and you can, look at it for yourself. In October alone, 122 motor vehicle accident patients came to Cornwall Regional Hospital. In November, this is right after, Melissa, we had 93. In December, we had 153 cases. And up until the 12th of January of this year, we have 55 cases. Now you can tally that and you see the impact this has had on our health system. If you look at, we had a bed complement at Cornwall Regional Hospital of 350. And after Melissa, it came down to 176 due to, damage to some of our places that we house patients. One of the places that is severely impacted here at Cornwall Regional Hospital, and if we have time, I can speak about the other hospitals in the region as well, is the Accident and Emergency Department, where, this morning alone, there are 84 patients awaiting admission there. Mind you, a lot of those might be medical patients. But I'm showing you, the constriction that we are working with. And if it's possible that we can minimize these motor vehicle accidents and to minimize death, it will be a problem. In fact, I was trying to pull out some data, but because of the hurricane again at Cornwall, I wasn't able to pull that data for you. But I can move down to Savlamar Hospital, that's an area where we have, road traffic accident, motorcycle, motor vehicle, a lot on a daily basis. In fact, last year alone, they operated on 253 major orthopedics injury. And I'm talking about, acetabulum, that means hip. I'm talking about femoral shaft, the thigh bone, the leg bone, ankles, forearm bones, all of that. Now, if somebody should be able to look at the cost that is involved in all of this, that's one issue, the cost. But if you look at the impact it has on the health system, that alone is enormous.
Dr. Frey, I want to come back to that point. In regards to the strain on the health system. But talk to me. The National Road Safety Council said, and I shared with viewers earlier, that motorcyclists continue to be a very vulnerable group. And it has been reported that this has been a big problem for several years, including in Western Jamaica. What did you see in 2025 where motorcyclists are concerned? Did you see a lot of them needing treatment?
Oh yes, oh yes. In fact, I spoke to the surgeon there just 5 minutes ago. I said the major problems is motor vehicle accident, but in terms of to give you a percentage, but it's very significant. It's something that we cannot, just brush under the table. Motor vehicle and motorcycle in Westmoreland is very high. In St. James, it's mainly motor vehicle accident, very few motorcycle accident. In Trelawney, it's mostly motor vehicle as well. You see that highway from Duncan's coming up to Montego Bay, through Trelawney. We get a lot of motor vehicle accident along there. And the corridor from Negril to Lucy is an area where we get a lot of motor vehicle accident as well. So in the region, the vast majority of motorcycle is in Westmoreland.
So you named a few hospitals earlier, Cornwall, the SAB hospital. Are there any other health facilities in Western Jamaica that have, come under the most pressure? And what are some of the most common injuries that you're seeing?
Right. So the other hospitals in the region, as I said, Savlamar, Noel Holmes, Corn Regional, and the Falmouth Hospital. In a motor vehicle accident, the major injuries we are seeing: chest, head, long bone, pelvic injuries. Sometimes you'll have a patient, all those systems are damaged. When those patients come into hospital and you have to resuscitate them, they will exhaust all your blood products in order to save their lives. And when you are going to operate on these patients, and a lot of time we'll have delay in operating on them, you will have blood products as well. So one of the area it depletes the resources is our blood products, not to mention the anesthetic that we use, the antibiotics, the drugs that we use. And I'm telling you now, as I said before, if we were able to cost those things for a single, let's take a simple, thigh bone fracture that comes in from a motor vehicle accident, I would roughly estimate that somewhere, and please don't, hold me to that. I'm going to do a rough estimate based on what the implant costs, based on what the medications, based time in the operation, it's going to be somewhere in $0.5 to $5 million.
Hold on, Dr. Frey. Your audio chipped out a while ago.
Enormous.
All right, we're having some audio chat. Dr. Frey, are you hearing me?
Yes.
I want you to repeat that point because I am
hearing you quite well.
Yes. Can you repeat that point that you just made just now?
No, what I'm saying, if you use a simple thigh bone fracture that comes in the hospital and look at all the aspect of it that requires, treatment and cost it, it's going to run you somewhere between 1.5 to 2.5 million for a single thigh bone fracture. Can you imagine if a patient has head injury that he needs to go in ICU, he needs to have CT, he has to have, intracranial intervention, chest injury, pelvic injury? I mean, that could run you somewhere, anywhere near $100 million in order to salvage such a patient. The idea behind this, and I want to express this, to our people, is that we have to act, in such a manner to minimize this. I don't know if any government anywhere in the world will be able to manage the cost that comes from these type of injury. And I refer to these as unnecessary injuries.
Dr.
One thing we should talk about, yeah, go ahead.
You brought up something very important earlier with regards to blood supply and how the many road crashes we're seeing affect blood supply. How exactly does it affect care that doctors are able to provide to other patients? For example, persons who are coming in need of elective surgeries. I can imagine how much of a strain this is.
Boy. In fact, I was going to get to that point. The impact these road traffic accidents cause, the use of our blood products, the use of our ICU place, Not to mention our elective operations. One of the biggest problem I have on a daily basis, explaining to patient why they can't get their surgery done. And what type of surgery I'm talking about? I'm talking about patient that need cancer surgery, breast surgery, colon surgery, that type of surgery, gallbladder surgery. All those cases, when you use up the blood products, you use up the resources, and you use up the bed space, we are not able to admit these patients. I'll give you an example, which is, I need the public to hear. Surgical bed space in the current state, that we are trying to work hard to improve that. In Cornwall Regional Hospital is 4 female. You follow what I'm saying? So if you have a patient who needs, breast cancer,